I highly recommend Malaysia.
Wow.
I was originally anti-Islam. I didn't like Muslims. I wasn't exposed to many Muslims at all. And after the events of like 9/11 and the bombings in London, I was, naturally scared of Muslims and didn't really like Muslims at all. And obviously I was against sort of the whole ideology of Islam. And then I was given a chance to come to Malaysia.
Assalamualaikum, Elsa di sini. Hai guys, hai semua, halo tetangga, gimana kabar teman-teman semua? Semoga sehat selalu, semoga bahagia selalu, dan semoga hari teman-teman semua selalu good day. Selamat datang di channel YouTube Widianti Putri. Hari ini kita akan mereaction video yang dimana bisa kita ambil pelajarannya, bisa kita ambil manfaatnya, ambil hikmahnya, dan mungkin dari video ini kita juga bisa menjadi manusia yang lebih bersyukur. Ini dari channel Optimize Muslim dan juga Halis Media. Jadi ada 3 video yang aku akan persembahkan untuk teman-teman semua. Seseorang yang berhijrah ke Malaysia untuk menjadi pribadi atau muslim yang lebih baik lagi, memiliki kehidupan yang lebih baik dari negara sebelumnya, dan memilih Malaysia untuk menjadikan negara terbaik untuk mereka berhijrah. Tapi sebelum dimulai video reactionnya, seperti biasa aku mau ngajakin teman-teman semua dulu untuk subscribe channel ini dan aktifkan lonceng notifikasinya supaya tidak ketinggalan update terbaru dari channel ini. Dan bagi teman-teman yang mau request bisa banget DM di Instagram aku di @elsa_widianti_putri. Yaudah, tanpa berlama-lama, tanpa membuang masa, jumlah kita mulai video reactionnya. Are you ready? Let's go.
Just a side question, because I think I did see a video of you in Malaysia. I think like you were trying out some food or something, and
Malaysia Fridays.
Yeah, that was good. But because with Malaysia, I feel like anybody who's met Malaysian people, right? And for us living in the UK, for me it was like when I was at university, you meet Muslims, Indonesian, Malaysians, and everyone comes away with a good impression because they're very, like, in general, obviously exceptions everywhere, in general they're very like smiley, bubbly, like friendly, like assalamu alaikum. You know how you were saying earlier that you get to a place and you're like, they're the Malaysians essentially, right? And they bring a smile to your face. So what's your experience in terms of not just the people, but in terms of Malaysia as a potential destination? What's your takeaways?
Nothing but positivity, man. It's like, I can't even get the words out, bro. It's like I'm thinking about, okay, how many negative things did happen to us out there, and I have to say, none. Like the infrastructure is on point. Like the healthcare is on point. My daughter went to play school for that, on point. The people have this customer service type of attitude. It's on point. The streets are clean. It's on point. It's like I don't want to hype up Malaysia like it is the place. It's the nearest to perfection that you're gonna get.
You've not been appointed their ambassador or something, have you? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'm trying to sell it. You know what I mean? But like, and I think in Omar and myself's experience there, when we compared it to where we were before, and then we felt like, okay, like going down to the immigration and sorting out your visa. When you compare Malaysia to where we've just come from, oh my God. Like, why can't they just do it like this? It's so much easier. You know what I mean? It's even the police out there, bro. I got stopped out there. Me and my wife, 2 Africans in the car, up at talking outside the car. A couple of police officers came over, asked to see our passports. I went to get my passport, and he went, you know what, sir, it's okay. Got in the car and left. He's like, do you know what I'm saying?
So then here's the question.
We've got a tug in Malaysia. What are we going to do now? Nah. I went to go in my pocket to get my passport, and he went, you know what, so it's fine. Left.
Here's the question then. What happened then? How come you're not in Malaysia? Or if you are, why did you not decide to stay? Is it the citizenship thing?
that was between that's Qadr Allah, bro. Like if we had that choice, and I can't speak for Omar, but I'm sure I've got this right. If we had that choice, I think we'd be in Malaysia right now. The choice of being able to stay in Malaysia was unkindly taken away from us. But Qadr Allah ma shafa, like, you know what I'm saying, bro?
But COVID killed it.
Yeah, COVID killed it, bro. That's a good one.
COVID killed it because the policy started to change. Yeah, the policy started to change. We ran into some issues with the visa, and you couldn't fix it. Couldn't fix it because of COVID.
But Shay, even COVID, everything shut down, right?
Guys. Mungkin
So,
bisa
like
lama tinggal di
immigration,
Malaysia
for
gitu.
example, we had to go online and book an appointment block. Yeah. Now, usually you go into a building, you make an appointment, you go into a building, you've got people, you queue, you stand up, you go and see people, you get your thing done and you go home. So now we're thinking, okay, now the country's on lockdown, we're going to have to be standing at their queues and appointments being missed. Bro, within 24 hours, yeah, they had an online system that was on and popping for immigration. There was a ripple in the organization, but it was done, it was sorted like that, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I highly recommend Malaysia.
Wow.
People might have some
Highly
ideas about their funky beliefs.
recommendation,
They're not funky beliefs, man. They just have a different way of doing things, bro. Do you know what I mean? It's like, for example, after Isha, they all recite with the Imam Surah Al-Mulk. That's what they do. But there's a hadith that says, you know, those who read Surah Al-Mulk after Isha, you know, it protects you from the punishment in the grave. They choose to do it together. All right, so what's the big dealio? Like, little silly things like that. We don't have time for that. You know what I mean? But other than that, bro, listen, man, Malaysia, to me, will always be in my heart, man.
Wow.
Egypt and Malaysia, the two places, I compare everywhere to those two places.
Masya Allah, dia mengatakan Malaysia itu akan selalu berada di hati dia, weh. Terbaik Malaysia nih, weh, ya.
Because I don't have to. But this last month, I had a video that has got loads of views in Malaysia, and it's got me something like 400 subscribers, all from Malaysia, which I feel a bit bad about. I was mentioning to you before, because I feel like they clicked because of that one video, which was about Malaysia. Then the rest of the stuff, they might still be in self-development. So just for those lovely Malaysian people, tell me your experiences about living in Malaysia, like the positives and how you find it. And as someone who's made hijrah or moved to Malaysia, just talk about that for a bit.
Okay, so first things first is when I never really knew of Malaysia till I was like 11 or 12. But once I had come across it through the badminton scene, I was so happy that badminton players were Muslim. And I was seeing that their names were Muhammad this and Muhammad that. I was fascinated. I was like, oh, wow. So I started to look more into the country. And I always had that kind of inclination that Malaysia is a special place. Funnily enough, in my house, there was one Nasheed CD album. Well, I thought they were Chinese brothers because I was only 8 or 9 when my mother bought the album. But they were Malaysians too, and that was the Rayhan album. And I actually learned those songs that were in Malay.
Lagu
Purely from listening
nasyid.
to them so much. There was the sheet.
Rayhan.
Purely from listening to them so much. But I actually thought it was Chinese. So I had a kind of an affinity for Malaysia already. I was still ignorant at that time.
Dia pikir itu bahasa Mandarin, ternyata bahasa Malaysia.
Melayu
Malaysia gitu.
In Malaysia. But I had that kind of affinity for Malaysia. And I think just when it came to the idea of being able to come to Malaysia, to be able to work, to have a network, it just happened naturally. And I think once I had that kind of goal and affinity, everything fell into place. From being here, I never have to worry about anything. If I go out, I know within 5 minutes, I can come across the cleanest, most beautiful, well-designed, peaceful masjid that you can think of, just around the corner. Wherever I am, I'm never struggling to look for places to pray. And being from England, where when you go to Tesco or you go to Asda and you're constantly checking the packets for all of the ingredients, what's in there, can I have it, can I not?
Harus
I can't
cek-cek ya
explain
halal
how
atau
liberating
enggak
it is when you
gitu.
live in a Muslim country. They might not say they're a Muslim country, where Muslim is the official religion, where Islam is the official religion, and there are Muslims everywhere. There are masjids everywhere. There's halal food everywhere. I can't explain how liberating that is, man. you feel totally at comfort because maybe there's a part of you which is calling out for home that you can only find in a place where there are lots of Muslims. Being here, especially, there is such a strong push for development here. I imagine that Malaysia is now like the way that the Emirates was in the 90s, where it was rapidly. I see that. I see Malaysia on a very curve of growth. It's going places and it's fast. So people want to come here. Lots of people want to holiday here, as they should. It is an amazing place. And there's a good mix of everything. There's a good mix of culture. Mashallah, a lot of the Malaysians, they can speak multiple languages. The Muslim communities, well-versed in Islam, they're all Islam dear to their heart. So it's just wonderful to be. It's just wonderful to be in. And I can't speak highly enough of the country. I might not be here forever. I can say that openly. I might not be here forever. People who are wanting to make hijrah, or they're wanting to think of moving to a country, I would come for a holiday, try it out, see the people, think about work opportunities if you can get it, think about any other opportunities to come and spend more time. It's a good place to be. Developing country, there's lots to do. People, and Muslim is very easy to live here.
Jadi di video kedua dia mengatakan bahwa Malaysia itu istimewa. Dia bisa dengan sangat-sangat mudah untuk melaksanakan ibadah, untuk melaksanakan sholat karena memang masjid bertebaran di mana-mana. Dan kalau di tempat dia ketika ingin membeli makanan atau bahan-bahan makanan, dia harus cross check dulu nih. Dia harus cari tahu dulu dengan teliti apakah makanannya mengandung yang haram atau enggak gitu. Nah kalau di Malaysia itu banyak bertebaran, banyak tersebar lah makanan-makanan halal gitu guys. Mengatakan Malaysia sangat istimewa di hati dia, di kehidupan dia, dan dia merekomendasikan juga untuk orang-orang yang ingin hijrah nih, Muslim yang ingin hijrah dari tempat asalnya, coba experience, coba datang langsung ke Malaysia. Oke, ini ada video ketiga, video terakhir, luar biasa banget menurut aku, bagaimana seorang Islamofobia asal Inggris menunjukkan Islam sejati di Malaysia. Wow, kita sama-sama simak videonya seperti apa guys.
So I can start off with how I was pretty much Islamophobic, anti-Islam. Yeah, I was, to be honest, I was. My journey to Islam started when I actually came to Malaysia. I was originally anti-Islam. I didn't like Muslims. I wasn't exposed to many Muslims at all. And after the events of like 9/11 and the bombings in London, I was, naturally scared of Muslims and didn't really like Muslims at all. And obviously I was against sort of the whole ideology of Islam. And then I was given a chance to come to Malaysia to study here in Malaysia for 1 year, and I was instantly exposed to the beauty of Islam through the akhlaq of the Muslims here. Everyone was very welcoming, and basically everyone was the opposite of what I was told by the media in England, and I naturally became curious and I wanted to know more. So when I was in Malaysia, I asked everyone more questions about Islam. Why do women do this, or why do you do this? They gave me the answers, and the answers of what I wanted to know in a very simple way so I could understand it, or any non-Muslim could understand it, without the complications, making it confusing for a non-Muslim to understand. Why do you do all the washing up your arms when you pray? Why do you bow down when you pray? Allow meat. Always questions. Many of my friends replied nicely. And then I went back to England with a different mindset of Islam. I took it upon myself to go to the Islamic society in England, like the clubs. I basically joined in with all the Muslim week. I think every Tuesday we went to a club and just hang out and chilled and talked about Muslim matters in England. The reason why I did that was so I knew that all Muslims were like this. Going to Malaysia, Islam was great. Going to England, I wanted to make sure it was the same thing. It wasn't this sort of this thing where everyone was like, oh, so nice to be in Malaysia, but in England or wherever else, Muslims were different. And then finally I came back to Malaysia to teach at UTM in Johor, and then decided this is the right thing, and that's how I became a Muslim. And after about 3 or 4 years of studying Islam, I decided to enter Islam.
Masya Allah, dia Islamofobia atau anti-Islam karena ada terjadi peristiwa 911 atau pengeboman di London. Nah mungkin itu kan yang teroris gitu kan, yang waktu itu melakukan pengeboman. Nah dari situ dia mulai gak suka sama Islam, dia anti-Islam. Nah kemudian mungkin hidayah Allah gitu kan, kita juga gak bisa menerka-nerka, kita juga nggak bisa tahu kapan hidayah Allah itu datang untuk kita, untuk saudara-saudara kita juga gitu guys. Nah pada saat itu dia diberikan kesempatan untuk datang ke Malaysia, untuk belajar ke Malaysia selama kurang lebih 1 tahun. Dan dia berkata ketika dia datang ke Malaysia, dia langsung diberikan sebuah keindahan Islam, yang dimana lingkungan dia otomatis pasti banyak yang beragama Islam gitu kan guys, karena memang Malaysia juga mayoritasnya Islam. Kemudian dia berbaur dengan orang Malaysia, dia melihat keramah tamahan orang Malaysia, dia melihat keindahan Islam di Malaysia itu seperti apa, dan pada akhirnya itu merubah pola pikir dia yang anti Islam, yang dimana juga pemikiran dia ternyata bertolak belakang dengan yang disebarkan atau yang diberitakan di tempat dia di Inggris. Ternyata Islam itu nggak seperti itu. Nah dari situ pola pikir dia mulai berubah tentang Islam, dan ya alhamdulillah gitu kan, hidayah Allah datang dan dia akhirnya memilih Islam di Malaysia guys. Masya Allah, nih Malaysia nih pahalanya banyak ya guys. Semoga istiqomah. Dan dia juga katanya mengajar di UTM guys. Nah aku kurang paham juga sekarang dia masih mengajar di UTM atau enggak. Kalau ada nih mahasiswi UTM, boleh komen-komen di bawah apakah kenal dengan beliau, karena beliau mengatakan bahwa dia mengajar di UTM. Oke, untuk video kali ini cukup sekian. Bagi teman-teman yang suka sama video ini, jangan lupa untuk like, komen, dan subscribe. Dan kita ketemu di next video. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum.